All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are at Team 9 Racing TV. We are here at Five Flags Speedway for the Fastlane Motorsports late model stock cars. Can't wait to see how this goes. I'm joined up here in the booth by my good buddy Cameron Carden. Cameron, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Waylon. It's good to be up here in the booth again with you again, and I'm excited for tonight. I feel like after last week watching from the stands, I think tonight's going to be a very good showing too.
Oh yeah, man. I know one car that everybody's going to be watching is that number 36 of Brett McCoy. He's already got it, the fastest lap. He's done put it out there. He said a 16.567, but Frank Barbary, he's right there behind him with a 16.618. So it's going to be a tight battle once again between these two, but Brett McCoy, he was able to drive away with it last week. So I'm kind of ready to see what happens this week. For anybody that is tuning in this week, this is an open setup league. So these guys are building their own setups and coming out here and racing. So this really doesn't come down to just a driver like a lot of these fixed setup leagues. This comes down to knowledge. So I got to say myself, I kind of like this kind of league. You know, it comes down to what you know about a race car and if you can, you know, set up a good car.
Yeah, honestly, whenever it comes down to these setups, these guys, you know, this is an older, I would say, gentleman's league. So these guys know a lot. They understand how how to make the car rotate in the corner, know when to get get on and off the gas, and be able just to tweak the car. You know, make the adjustments that they need. And it's a lot different than a fix. The fix is just what iRacing or someone provides you, and you can't adjust anything. So the open gives you the free reign, and you know, I think it all comes down to what you know and how much knowledge you have and what you're able to do with the car.
Oh yeah, and only 100 laps here tonight, but these guys do have 2 sets of tires. They don't have to pit for fuel, and I believe they have one fast spare. I could be wrong about that, but the 2 sets of tires, I think that's really going to come into play later on for these guys. So you may see a lot of different strategy. You may see on the first few cautions nobody pits, or you know, maybe you'll have that one guy that pits a quarter of the way through and he tries to save that set of tires for right there at the end with about 25 to go, about 3/4 of the way through, and try to drive up through the field.
Yeah, so 3 sets total in the race. You got 1 on the car already, and then you got 2 in the pits. I would say it can go both ways, where you can save to the very end, or you can burn up 1 set early and then need to take another set later. I mean, you got two chances, 2 opportunities to make it work.
Oh yeah, and one thing about these late models that not a lot of people know, especially in iRacing, not a lot of people take left side tires. You'll generally see a lot of those guys out there take just right sides. It really does help the car rotate. You know, me and you obviously coming from, you know, doing a lot of late model leagues ourselves, you know, you kind of get that, we kind of have that little bit of knowledge of just taking the right sides. But with the open setups, I wonder what the strategy is going to be tonight.
Yeah, so normally in the open sets during officials, I would say this is a lot different than officials, but normally in officials, you don't have to, you know, really burn up that right side as much as you would during a fixed race, because you're more reliant on that right side of the car during a fixed league or a fixed official race. And so the open kind of gives you the opportunity to play around with the tire pressures and be able to see what you can, and you don't have to rely on that right side more than you would on that left side. And I liked what you said, that you know, where we come from, our leagues, and what we do is that normally you don't have to take the left sides, but tonight they might have to if they want to have an equal opportunity to get a good start on the restart or have a good race. And that all comes down to the knowledge that these guys should have.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I will say these times are pretty tight. You got a 5.67, a 16.567 on the pole right now, fastest in practice. Then we got a 6.18 from Frank Barbary. Troy Olesen. I'm probably butchering that last name. I do not know how to say that last name. But he's got a 6.35. And then a little bit of a fall off to Rick Kelly, who's going to have a 16.751. But right behind him, James Stratton with a 16.769. So the top 5 pretty close, but I will have to say, Brett McCoy, I think he's going to be the car to beat tonight. He has got a bad, fast car. At Hickory, he had such a good car, and it's looking like he's going to be pretty fast here tonight.
Yeah, and there's also a lot more drivers here tonight than we saw last time. I think we only saw maybe 8 to 10 drivers last time. There's definitely, actually, well, I don't know, maybe less than that, but there's definitely more drivers I see this time around than last week at Hickory. So here at Five Flags, I would say they got a pretty good running. I think there might be some competition for Brett if these guys know what they're doing and get their I would say set right.
Oh, yeah, and a guy I want to shout out, Seth Schultz. Seth Schultz is the guy that actually brought me on to allow me to do this, messaged me and asked if I wanted to do this, and I told him I would love to. You know, obviously, like I said before last week, I took a little bit of a hiatus, took a little bit of a break from it, but we are back and better than ever right now. So huge shout out to Seth, man. He's actually gonna be out there tonight. Look out for that number 86 car. Actually, we can try to pull him up here on the camera. There you go, right there. He's actually running a Camaro. This is a very unique looking car, and I gotta say, personally, I do love the way this car looks.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, some of them are running a different paint scheme than last week. I know Brett McCoy, he was running a red type of paint scheme last week, kind of red, black, and everything like that. Unless I don't have my trading paints right up. But a lot of these guys are running different paint schemes, but we also have a lot more drivers this time around, I would say. So we get to see more paint schemes and stuff like that around the park.
Oh, yeah, and I will have to say, I peep a little bit of a Team 9 Racing TV sticker on Seth Schultz's car, and I gotta say, I'll probably give you about 10 horsepower on there.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody get used to hearing Cameron. He's probably going to start popping in here for a few races. I don't know if it'll be every race, but he's going to try to be here for a lot of these races. Might have a couple other people in here. Might swap it out. But definitely good to have another commentator up here to hear another voice besides mine. So
I would say I'm very thankful for the opportunity. You know, I've only done a couple broadcasting, I would say, jobs in my day, but it's always good to do one and be able to watch somebody else, the excitement you get from somebody else watching the same thing as you, and even having the racing to just watch the racing as well is even better. So thankful for the opportunity.
I gotta say, a lot of these cars are very good looking. I love the way some of these cars look. Frank Barbary with that bright green 26, Brett McCoy. And I do have to point out, Troy Olison just went top of the board with a 5.61. So somebody out here, Brett McCoy's got a little bit of competition here tonight. I didn't know if anybody was going to touch him, but he's got a lot to look for now. So we're going to see a lot of these guys with their hands, with their hands full here tonight. So we're going to have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, he hit that mark right there, right where the racing groove is, and had a good exit off of 2 as I'm watching it back and just watching it. And he got in the 3 and 4 good, out of 4 good, and there you go. That's a solid lap from him.
Oh, yeah. Right here, we got Brett McCoy. He's actually coming out on pit road. And I do have to say here tonight, he is carrying our onboard camera, one of our onboard cameras. We got a couple of them spread out amongst the field. So we're on board with Brett McCoy. We're going to watch him, see if he can pick up the speed right here. Down into 1 and 2 he goes, getting ready to head down that backstretch. Him rolling through 3 and 4. Coming out of 4. Can he pick it up at all? Does he set a new lap? Only able to pick it up to a 5.65. A 5.65.
A lot of times in practice, you know, you try to get a good mock run for your qualifying, right? And that's what you see a lot of these guys there. Some of these guys are saying new fast laps, like a 16.551 there for Brett McCoy. He goes top of the board by Pretty dang close there, I would say. But a lot of these guys are trying to get a mock run of qualifying of what they can do for their lap. But a lot of these guys also, for maybe the guys are off the pace a little bit, they're trying to see, they're not really trying to run the fastest lap. They're trying to see how long they can run during the race until, you know, they want to come down and get tires and stuff like that. So some of these guys are playing strategy. Some of these guys are just trying, they already have the strategy down, but they're just trying to see if they can have the pace for it.
Oh, yeah. And the pace, I think, is what's going to set a lot of these guys different. As we got our end of pit road, that what we're looking at right now from this camera angle is the end of pit road. And if you watch, you see a lot of these guys enter differently. Traditionally, if you watch this race in real life, a lot of those guys like to ride right by that wall. But the way that the late model stock is driven, you can kind of run a little bit higher up and kind of diamond the corner and get a really good run. So it's definitely cool to see the different lines that are run here at Five Flags compared to real life.
Yeah, I would also say that during the race, it's going to be hard because this track, I mean, if it was a hotter day, I would say that this track does get hot, especially even if it's in the afternoon like this, the racing groove will get hot. Tires will start to burn up. That's what Five Flags is really, you know, used to have, is just burning up the tires a little bit. So you got to have a watch out, and that's where the pace is going to come in. You got to be consistent on your lap times. And so, yeah, we'll see what these guys have for qualifying.
Oh, yeah, now they got 5 minutes to qualify, but only 2 laps. We're waiting to see. I believe Bob Cornwell out on the track first, followed by Bill Sleep. I'll try to get a shot of one of these guys 1 second. Got myself all messed up right here. There we go. See Bill Sleep, he's out on track right now. We'll follow him for just a second. Down the backstretch he goes. Now, Bill Sleep, he was the one that had that amazing finish last week. He powered around the outside to get that top 3. So he definitely knows how to wheel this car. He's going to go ahead and set a 17.440. But Mike Heminger going to set a 16.983. A lot of these guys coming out to run their laps. Troy Olison, we'll follow him. See what kind of time he can set. I will say, listen to Troy. He does not have his car as high strung as a lot of these cars you hear. His is running a lot lower RPMs. I don't even know if he's getting to the chip. Rick Kelly to the top of the board with a 16.770. 16.770.
Troy will go to the top of the board for the 16.578 new award.
See if he can keep that pole coming out of the corner. I believe, I want to say they might have 3 laps of qualifying.
Wow.
Picked it up to a 16.540 right there. Frank Barbary, he's on track. We know that he's a fast guy.
We'll see if he can pick it up here. He wasn't even really hitting the chip there as well, again, to that corner. P4.
He's going to start it off with a 16.786. Let's see what he can do down the backstretch. Lap 2, a 16.664. Not able to pick it up. But here's the guy I've been wanting to see, honestly, Brett McCoy. He started out with a 17.084, but does he pick it up? A 16.552 for Brett McCoy.
We'll see if he has anything for the pole right here. Oh.
Oh, he might have tagged the wall, honestly. He come out of there, and he was really, really close. So he might have tagged the wall right there. I believe Seth Schultz. He might be either parking it or... Oh, no, I think Seth is actually coming out. Ooh, I don't think he was able to make a lap. Oh, no, there you go. Seth Schultz is pulling out.
You better hurry up and make a lap before that time goes down.
I will say he's got 45 seconds, so he's going to be cutting it close right here. See what he can do on that first lap. Oh, 16.683. He can only go up from here. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to get that second lap in. He's got 2 seconds. Is it going to count?
Is it going to
He cut it close. He did it. He got a 16.587. He's going to put it third on the board.
That's insane. I can't believe you got that off.
He cut it close, but now the lights are on. It's time for these guys and, or I believe it's just guys. Ooh, I almost said guys and girls. Holy. But it's time for these guys to get ready to send these cars around this track. We got a 13-car field here tonight. A few more cars than what we had last week, like Cameron pointed out. So definitely a lot more competition here tonight. And looking at the times, these guys are fast. I mean, they are moving around this track. You got Troy Olison, Brett McCoy, Seth Schultz, Frank Barbary, all of those guys right there within the times.
Yeah, I can't wait for this race to start. Honestly, we got a lot more cars this week, and so could be a lot more carnage, or it could be a lot more competition. I think it could go both ways, as if these guys can hold it together, and we might see some good racing tonight, Waylon.
Oh yeah, I believe we are. And for anybody watching right now, tell Papa James Stratton, Mikey said hi. James, you got Mikey out there. He's watching and he's pulling for you. For anybody that is watching here tonight, drop your race winner prediction down in the chat. Let me know who you're pulling for. Let me know who you think is going to win. I got to say, Seth Schultz, man, he's looking fast. I know that might sound like a little favoritism because he gave me the opportunity, but he is looking fast. He was fast in practice, stayed steady, and he was, I mean, obviously fast here in qualifying. He put it third on the board. So, Cameron, who do you got out here tonight?
Well, I might have to agree because Seth he showed small little bits of speed in practice. You know, wasn't on top of the board, obviously, but with that great qualifying effort, if he just keeps his head down and stays patient, be consistent with his lap times, I think we can see him up here fighting for the winner spot, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I think he's got a choice. And, Michael, to answer your question, yeah, I believe he did. If he's currently logged in or got the stream pulled up, he probably did. And if anybody has any questions about what's going on here tonight, feel free to drop them. We will answer them to the best of our ability. But man, these cars out here tonight are looking good. You got Troy Olison on the pole. You've got Brett McCoy in second, Seth Schultz in third, Frank Barbary in that fourth position, Rick Kelly, Mike Heminger, Carl Fitz, Bill Sleep, Steve Scarborough, and I believe James Stratton is going to round out the top 10, but here they come to the start zone. Green flag is out. Troy Olison and Brett McCoy are away. Down into turn one, coming out of turn two, down the backstretch. They are still side by side, going into 3 and 4, and they're coming around to complete lap one. I don't know who's going to lead it. I believe Brett McCoy's going to lead lap 1.
Yeah, Brett is working that high side, and honestly, it's working. That's the one thing about Five Flags is that you can do here is the bottom's good, but also if you know how to run that top side, it will work good. And so now we got 3 cars underneath the blanket here for the lead.
Oh, yeah, we got 3 cars. Seth Schultz, he's waiting on one of these guys to make a mistake so he can try to pounce on him right here. But Brett McCoy, he is not giving up on Troy. He is still leading, though. But, man, they have to you have to wonder, can these guys pull away from the field, or can Rick Kelly or Frank Barbary hunt these guys down?
Yeah, it's the top 5 is kind of split to 2 different groups here. You got the 3 up front, and then you got 2 kind of mid-pack, and then the rest of the field behind them. And so right now it's just all about what you see, what you're feeling in the car, and see if you got any pace for up front. Obviously, the track can change over time, but you still want to find out if you have pace for the leaders or not here in case it comes down to the very end.
Oh, yeah, man, and 100 laps is going to tick off quicker than you think. It sounds like a lot at first, but once you get rolling on these green flag laps, it ticks off quick. We're already on lap 6.
Yeah, I could tell that Seth is actually keeping up with these guys, and so looking at his line compared to the other 2, they're a little bit messing up there within the track groove and stuff like that, the preferred lane. Here, you see Brett getting a little loose off of turn 2, but he's keeping with these guys. I'd say if he keeps being patient and waits for the opportunity, he will be able to pounce and gain some spots.
Oh yeah, Seth definitely has a chance to win this thing, but like you said, Brett McCoy getting loose. So I'm not too sure if he might have set it up for the daytime, not expecting a night race, but I mean, that car looked a little all over the place, but it looks like he may have it up under him now as he's starting to pick up a little bit of speed and close back up to Troy Olison.
I will say there's a battle for P11 in the back there between these 3 cars. Even though it's in the back and it's basically about last, but these guys are still battling hard. I swear, I think I saw about like 3 changes back there in the back for some spots. So either way, battles around the racetrack.
Oh, we got a bunch of cars. Carl Fitz, Bill Sleep, Mike Heminger. All those cars are around. James Stratton going to pull off. Steve Scarborough with damage. So from about 6th on back, a lot of these guys involved in a pretty big wreck right there. You see Carl Fitz with a lot of damage. So we're going to go back and take a look, see what happened. Oh, you see Scarborough gets in. Oh, man, I guess just doesn't realize they didn't have the room right there and gets right into the 18 of Carl Fitz and everybody else trying to stop and avoid him. They all do a pretty good job. Everybody goes high. So shout out to those guys for avoiding that wreck. We're going to see from Bill Sleep right here. See, he is trying to check up. Oh, man, just barely gets into the 1. He's able to get it stopped, but not. He gets it stopped right in the wrong place. Carl Fitz backs right into him.
Yeah, somebody just decided to push it a little bit too early there and decided to make the move, and obviously it was not there and just misjudged it. And yeah, that's how it goes sometimes in late model racing.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have to be patient. I think that was, like you said, a show of these guys not being patient enough right now. So we'll have to see. But Frank Barbary, who was in that 4th position, he's come down pit road, maybe making a little bit of an adjustment on that car. What a lot of people don't know about these late model stocks as well is there's a lot of stuff that you can do inside that car to adjust it. When you come down pit road, you're able to make those adjustments on the fly. So maybe making either a spring adjustment or maybe trying to get a tire pressure adjustment on that car.
Yeah, it could be either that or he just decided to come down and fix one of his damage. Because these guys, I do believe I saw in the rules that they do have 2 fast repairs. So it's worth the risk to take one now. But as we're coming to this green flag restart here, a lot of those guys were taking left side tires, as I saw the cars go up, so taking left sides, and so we'll have to see if that plays a difference early on in the race.
Oh yeah, 86 laps to go when these guys come back around. We'll just have to see. Oh, I don't know if that was a jump or not. I don't know if they have a rule on that, or I may have been looking at the wrong thing. But Troy Olison going to get a good start right there. Brett McCoy not able to get as good a jump, but he's going to drop in right behind him and tries to look to the inside.
Yeah, Brett McCoy making the inside of Trey Olson here. He's going to be able to clear him. Maybe no. They're going to still be side by side. Now clears him into turn one.
Yeah, Troy Olison going to dip back in behind him. He's going to try to get that position back and try to get some more laps led. But if they battle too much, that number 86 of Seth Schultz is going to be able to pounce on these guys and try to lead some laps himself.
Yeah, remember, Seth, just be patient right here, and you'll be fine. And don't push the car too early. You don't want to. I see a lot of these guys that were in the back are now up here mid-pack, kind of. Frank and Carl back here. They were up front kind of running mid-pack, but now they're in the back. So, again, being patient with these cars and understanding what's happening around you, and the knowledge that you have to have it plays a big part in this race.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does play a big part in this. So, let's have to see. Brett McCoy still your leader. He is out front. Troy Olison still in second. They are actually pulling away from Seth Schultz right now. So we'll have to see if Seth can either close up the gap or if these two just have that good of a setup and can drive away from him.
Yeah, well, I'll be interested to see why those guys whoever did take left side tires. I did see that. It'll be interesting to see if those guys are able to play a factor. I think some of them are, as they're running mid-pack. I would say running about 8th or 9th or 7th. So it gives those guys an opportunity to show what's up. I don't know if they burnt their stuff already within the first 14 laps, or they just decided to take left side tires.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to see if what the strategy is right there. I'm kind of excited to see what the strategy is going to be. Like you said, taking those left side tires this early, it's not something you usually see. So we'll have to see how that plays out and see if it can go to their benefit.
Yeah, I also want to point out that Frank Barbary and Carl Fitz are a lap down, so that will play a factor because we know Frank is fast. He obviously qualified within the top 5 to start the race, and Carl was kind of running mid-pack, I would say around 7th or 8th, maybe 6th. So we'll have to see if that's going to play a factor in both of them. I will say Carl got damage, so he'll be running the back probably for a little bit, but there's nothing wrong to save that fast repair and to come down and get that damage fixed throughout the cautions.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of these guys, I think Seth may just be saving tire because he's slowed down just a little bit. He's not pushing it as hard. He's running a good steady line. So we'll have to see. But one car that I'm looking at right now that's driving through the field, that is Steve Scarborough in the 52. He was involved in that wreck earlier, and he's already worked his way back up to 5th, and he is hunting down Rick Kelly right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll take a look back and see. He might be the one of those drivers that came down and grabbed tires or not. As he's battling with Rick Kelly right there, giving him a little bump out of turn 2. But yeah, I think he came down and get a fast repair, and now he's using that to his advantage as we're hitting lap 28.
Oh yeah, 28 laps down. We got plenty more to go. We got 73 laps to go to be exact. So I have to see. But Rick Kelly maybe having a little bit of fall off right there is Bill Sleep. He's now closing up on that number 32 machine.
Yeah, I just take a look back at the replay, and Steve Scarborough was actually one of the drivers that came out and got a fast repair, and I believe he also took tires too. So that's playing to his benefit right now to use both of those.
Oh yeah, Mike Heminger, he's working his way back up through the field. He's in 7th. He's one of the ones that got spun out as well. He tried to avoid that wreck and just nowhere for the people behind him to go. Tom Johnson, he's trying to catch up to Bob Cornwell and see if he can make something happen.
I will say the battle up here for P1 is getting a little tense as Troy Ollison has made his way back up to Brett McCoy's bumper and is currently looking at, I don't know if he's just being patient with it or looking to have the move to make it to take the lead from Brett. But this is getting a little interesting battle. Plus, we're also coming up on lap car Carl Fitz, so there's the potential that Carl could go 2 laps down. But it's just good racing from what I'm seeing up front here.
Oh yeah, and I will have to point out, if anybody can see it, you can see a little bit of damage on the right front of Troy Olesen. So he has obviously hit that wall pretty hard, but it is not slowing that car down one bit.
No, he's definitely taking he's got damage, but that ain't stopping him from trying to make this car work. And he's obviously got that thing hooked up to his likings.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how this plays out right here. It is looking good and looking fun right now, honestly. So these guys definitely doing what they need to. Trying to save these tires. Brett McCoy and Troy Olesen, though, they have pulled away from Seth Schultz and the rest of the field. So it's looking like it's going to be a 2-car battle for the win.
Wait, I'm gonna ask, what is your preparation if you were in the same race or the same situation? Oh, they're lap cars again. Lap cars were racing each other hard. I think 2 of them were in the fence right there in front of the leaders. Bob Cornwall's gonna get out of the way for the leaders.
Oh yeah, definitely. You don't want to have that happen right in front of the leaders. That's definitely a good way to make some enemies right there. But Bob Cornwall going to go ahead and bring it down pit road, maybe get a little bit of damage fixed. But Carl's still out there running a damaged car. But Cameron, before we got cut off, what were you going to ask?
I was going to say, what is your position in this race? If you have the same tire sets, 2 tires in the pits, also 2 fast repairs, what are you trying to do strategy-wise? Are you pushing for every single set that you have on the car? You have 3 sets total, so are you pushing every single time that you have tires, or are you saving it just so you can take 2 at the very end?
I will have to say my strategy would be to try to save tire and try to have those 2 sets at the end, because you never know in case you might get spun or anything like that, and you're able to take a new set, so you're not having to try to run on hot tires that you obviously spun and heated up, and so you're not as slick. So I will have to say right now, I'm kind of in Seth Schultz shoes, where I'm just kind of biding my time, just waiting on something to happen, and just hoping that a caution comes out at the right time, because we are already 40 laps into this race.
Oh, Brett McCoy gets it, or Troy Olesen gets it to Brett McCoy there for a little bit as the lap car. They're 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Gets into him a little bit, but they save it. Yeah, good. I would say good save from Brett, and good job to Troy for not running him over there on the front stretch.
Oh yeah, man, Brett McCoy. I'm wondering if either he burned his stuff up, or if Troy just has saved more tire, because I mean they're definitely running a lot different lines. Brett obviously driving it in kind of shallow, and Troy kind of arcing the corner, running a wider entry.
Side by side there down the backstretch. As the lap car going to help out Troy? We'll have to see. They're side by side coming out of turn 4. Up the track a little bit goes Troy. And Brett McCoy gets at the line still. That's the benefit about running the high side here at Five Flags, is that you can work both. You can work the bottom lane, the preferred groove, and the top side.
Oh yeah, they're definitely doing what they need to do. Brett McCoy obviously going to just give up that position right there. He's going to try to lock back in right here and try to hunt down Troy Olesen once again. He was able to do it once before, so let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw the first 3 wide instance, and now Troy, he's obviously kicked on the burners. I feel like Troy understands his assignment, though. Whenever he has 2 sets of tires sitting in the pits, you can obviously take one around this time. We're hitting the halfway mark here soon, and so that would be the green light to go ahead and take 1 set of tires and save the other set for when you really do need it at the very end. And so that just gives the benefits to Troy and gives it to everybody else. But I would say Brett, he is not burning his tires as much as Troy is, so Brett might be able to use his tires a little bit longer than Troy is.
All right, we're definitely going to have to see what is going to happen right here. Brett, though, I do see a little bit of left rear damage, so I don't know if that is hurting that car, because obviously these late models are very aero dependent, so you just have to wonder if that little bit of left rear damage is hurting this car.
I think it might be because he came up off of turn 4 right there on the last lap and hit the wall. We'll see if he has to do it again here. You can kind of see that front poking out a little bit, but Seth Schultz, he's not able to capitalize because of how much Brett McCoy has fallen off the pace to Troy.
Yeah, Seth Schultz trying to close that gap up. Like you said, he's not able to capitalize just yet. As they are coming up, or actually they are actually past the halfway point. I'm sorry about that. So these guys passed that halfway point. Now they only have another half of the race to go.
Yeah, we're about to see a good battle between Seth and Brett McCoy, but Seth gets a little loose off the corner, but Brett goes up the racetrack. Here comes Seth as he's going to dive it in. Can he make it stick? He will. Is he going to be able to get the runoff to get underneath him? Yes, he will for a split second, but Brett McCoy able to get it off. Now side by side into turn 1. The switch over move for Brett McCoy. Can he work it? Yes, they're side by side. No, clear is Seth Schultz, and now Seth has got past that hungry Brett McCoy from last week. He wants more, but now it's just time to settle in, Brett. You're going to have to use that fast repair whenever you come in and get some tires.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to have to use that fast repair. Either that or try to get that damage fixed without using the fast repairs. I know a lot of these guys are going to need tires, but I want to say Troy Olison, he is pulling away with this lead right now. Seth Schultz trying to hunt him down, but Troy just seems to have the class of the field right now.
Yeah, Troy, his fastest lap came on lap, I believe, 17. But he is, even in the 17s that he's not running, he's still running fast lap times closest to whenever he first started.
Oh, yeah, and another car to look at is Rick Kelly. He's battling for 4th, but he still has plenty of laps to try to catch these guys. But I will have to say, the gap between Brett McCoy and Rick Kelly is pretty significant. I'd say it's about half a track. Looking at it right now, Troy Olison has over almost a 3-second lead, or a little over a 3-second lead. And Brett McCoy has 6 seconds up between him and Rick Kelly. So these top 3 are bad fast. I will have to say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of battles going on around this racetrack, and that just shows the time difference between all these guys. But I would say up till 8th place now, everybody's a lap down. Carl Fitz, he's 2 laps down, but everybody else is a lap down. So those guys who are a lap down now, they're going to be fighting extra more to try to get their lap back. And so that's where, you might see a little aggressive moves, or, some guys trying to play a trick and, try to see if they can use that to their advantage or not. But it's going to be a good battle, I would say, to see if we get anybody who's a lap down side by side with each other.
Oh, yeah. As Troy Olison just put Steve Scarborough a lap down, so there's only 7 cars on the lead lap. But Troy Olison, he's not far behind James Stratton. He's only about a straightaway behind him, and he is hunting him down.
Yeah, and there's obviously Frank, who's in front of James. But Troy, he's making good work. I'm surprised he hasn't fallen off the pace as much. He's still running the same, I would say, quick lap times as he has been for the past 10 laps. So we'll have to see if the tires really take effect here soon, as we're way past half point, about maybe 40 laps to go, less than 40 laps to go within a race.
Oh, yeah, 36 laps to go. But I want to point out Steve Scarborough, he just come down pit road and got 4 brand new tires. So maybe a little bit of strategy out of Steve Scarborough, maybe hoping for a late race caution. And he's going to try to get these tires settled into the track, hoping that a caution can't come out and his tires are to be heated up.
I would say that's a brave move by Steve Scarborough. But, again, he is now 3 laps down. Now, Brett McCoy's on pit road.
Oh, Brett McCoy has come down pit road. Maybe that, I'm not too sure. It doesn't look like he has any damage or has any blown tires. I was wondering if maybe that right front had blown because he was definitely pushing that car hard.
I think this is around the time where you see two people come down and get tires. So now all these drivers who are on the lead lap are depending, or if they're thinking to themselves, maybe I need to come down and get tires for myself, as now everybody is a second off the pace as what they were before, and now a lot of these guys are fighting for a lap back. Oh, Brett hits the wall again, but yeah, now you're thinking maybe Troy wants to come down pit road if he's thinking that Brett did.
Yeah, Troy Olison, he's definitely going to be looking around. Another car that did come down pit road is James Stratton. So a lot of these guys are taking those 4 tires, which is kind of surprising to me. But with this open setup, that may be the strategy, is to take these 4 tires. But Troy Olison, it doesn't look like he's going to slow up at all, as he's got 30 laps to go. Only 30 to go right here.
Yeah, it's all the how the tire sets are. Oh, caution is out. Carl Fitz.
Looks like
I think he has blown a tire.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. See him pulling away from that wreck, so we're going to go back and take a look. Oh, no, it's him and Steve Scarborough. It looks like maybe Steve Scarborough had turned him.
That did look like that happened.
All right, we're going to try to back it up a little bit right here. Carl Fitz comes down the track. Oh, Steve just not expecting it, expecting him to stay low like that, and just runs right into him. Man, oh man. So Carl Fitz probably not going to be too happy, but I will have to say Troy Olison right here, he's going to have the newest tires, but you have to wonder, you know, with Brett McCoy already coming down and getting his tires, are his tires going to be already warmed up, and is he going to be able to get a big enough lead?
Well, here's the thing. Those guys who came down and got tires early on, like Brett and I would say James and Steve, those guys are probably regretting coming down now and getting those tires, as you know, it's you didn't want to push you didn't want to push that too hard to where you couldn't take tires before, but now that you took tires, you're now in a bad position where your laps down, and now you have to wait on other cautions in order for you to get some laps back in order to have a fight.
Oh yeah, now we're gonna have to see Carl. You see Carl Fitz, he got that faster pair. He's back out on track. Troy Olison, he also took a faster pair and got that right front fixed. Seth Schultz. Actually, I think, oh, Brett McCoy is actually still a lap down. I just remembered that, so you have to wonder who's going to get their lap back right here. Is it going to be Brett McCoy?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. The way I'm looking at it right now, though, Tom Johnson is actually your lucky dog right now, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Brett McCoy getting his lap back, I believe. I would also like to point out that Troy, actually, I don't think he took any tires in his pit stop. I believe he actually just took a faster pair, if I do recall.
Oh yeah, they're coming around to take this green flag once again. Troy Olison going to go ahead and get out to the lead once again, but Seth Schultz, I believe Seth took tires right there. He's right on the bumper of Troy Olison. He's wanting to come in. Seth Schultz wasn't able to make the first week, so he's going to come in here on the second week and try to make it worth it.
Yeah, Seth looking really fast right there. Troy actually did not take any tires on his stop, and so now he's seeing the repercussions. Now he's going to give small room to Seth Schultz as they're going to come out turn 4 side by side. Troy will lead that lap.
Oh yeah, down into turn 1, still side by side. Troy Olison, Seth Schultz. Seth Schultz in the red car, Troy Olison in the gray and white car, side by side. Troy having to give up the position. I don't think he has the tire. I believe Seth got fresh tires, but Troy still not slow. Seth is really not pulling away from him, so you have to wonder, can Troy stay consistent enough to catch back up to him?
That's the thing. You would think that Troy would come down and get right side tires like Seth did, but he has not. He did not. I felt like nobody else was going to take him, and he wanted to try to get an early jump, but now he's seeing the repercussions of that. And also, we see Rick Kelly now, P3. I like that scheme he's got going on. I like the purple and white kind of mix match and stuff like that. So it's good to see that scheme out here. But he's now P3 as well, so he's going to be able to get himself a podium.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get himself a podium, but he's going to have to hope that there's not a caution, because if there is, Brett McCoy, he is in the position to get the lucky dog, and we all know if Brett McCoy gets back on the lead lap, these guys are going to be in trouble, because Brett McCoy has obviously showed speed all throughout the night. You see, oh, Bill Sleep comes out of the corner and it hits the wall just a little bit.
Yeah, I would say if Brett gets that lap back, he might be able to do some damage. But remember, he did also take tires a lot earlier than everybody else. And also with the fact that Troy might, if we get another caution, Troy might be able to come down and get tires himself and pass up through the field and gain some spots.
We're going to have to see right here. See, Seth Schultz, he's put a little bit of a gap in between him and Olesen, about a little over a second. This late in the race, if you are watching, drop your race winner prediction. Do you think Seth Schultz can pull it off, or does Troy Olesen have the car and the tire to hunt him back down?
We will have to see. We'll have to see, Waylon, within less than 20 laps.
Oh, yeah, only 15 laps to go. They are coming around to make it 14 laps to go. Seth Schultz, he hasn't led any laps today up until this point, but it looks like if everything goes right, he'll be able to lead these last 14 laps.
You know, the guy who started P3, who was not fast at all during practice, kind of mid-pack, is now showing the race pace. Again, being patient, being able to keep his head down and not really burn his tires up like Troy or Brett McCoy did, and play the strategy right. He's able to pay it off, and that's what you get. That's what you see here in late model stock racing here in late fast lane motorsports.
Oh yeah, and I will have to point out for a lot of these people wondering how long this race has taken. These guys have ran almost 100 laps in only 28 minutes. That just shows you how quick these laps tick off. As I talked about it beforehand, these laps tick off very, very fast.
Yeah, especially whenever there's green flag racing. It comes down to whether or not you have some green flag racing, and we'll see it here tonight. This is some good racing between everybody, and I think we only had like maybe 2 or 3 cautions for an actual incident, so it's good to see that, and proud of how this league ran from last week to this week without having that many cautions.
Oh yeah, last week we had quite a few cautions, but Hickory is a very technical track. It's easy to bump into somebody. There's a lot of bumps there, a lot of rough patches on the track. The track is very slick, so Five Flags being a bigger track, a lot less bumps. It's a newer, updated track. Definitely a lot better track here tonight.
Yeah, it's a good track. A lot of guys like coming to this racetrack and being able to perform some good super racing in real life and on the sim, and also some late model racing. That it does good on both sides of the ball. And yeah, it's just good to see racing here like this, and this is what makes you want to do it more and want to see more of it. So we'll be glad to see what happens next week.
Oh yeah, it's coming around to 6 laps to go now for the 86 of Seth Schultz. So we're gonna have to see, can he hang on to it for 6 more laps? He's got plenty of room out back. I mean, he's got more than a straightaway on Troy Olesen right now.
But yeah, he's got more than 2 seconds on Troy, and then Rick Kelly, he's not close to either one of them, but he is kind of 2 seconds back as well from Troy, running kind of that mid-pack. But you see Brett McCoy run up there. You would technically be spotted as P3, but since he is still a lap down and still has that quarter panel uh, dented in right there on his left rear. He's still got some damage, and so he's running P6 at the moment with the lap down.
Oh, and I am surprised that he did not get that damage fixed, but he did pit under green, so maybe just didn't take the extra couple seconds for that fast repair. Because I will say, even while you're getting tires, it does add on a couple seconds for that fast repair.
Yeah, just a few seconds though, not too long.
2 laps to go for Seth Schultz in the 86. He is looking good. He's looked good all night. He's ran in the top 3 all night. I don't think he's been out of it just yet. He's coming out of 4 to get the white flag. Down into turn 1 once again. Coming out of 2. He's coming up on some lapped cars, but he has no pressure out back. He can just coast it here from here on out. He can push in the clutch and ride coming out of turn 4. Give it to Seth Schultz here at Five Flags Speedway.
What a good win for Seth right there. Honestly, deserved it. Kept his head down all night, and decided to use the strategy. Went to his hand and played it right, and he wins.
Oh yeah, second place for Troy Olison and Rick Kelly, who is a new name this week. He's going to bring it home third. Mike Heminger in fourth, and Bill Sleep in that 5th position. See Seth, he's going to go ahead and burn it down. Oh, he's going to stop and try to let a lot of these cars by. Frank Barbary going to go ahead and park it on the top lane, but Seth going back to maybe doing some more burnouts, letting everybody by. Oh no, Seth is just going to park it right there. But good job to Seth Schultz. Good job to Troy Olison and Rick Kelly, Mike Heminger, Bill Sleep, Brett McCoy, Frank Barbary, see right there. Tom Johnson, Mike Fudge, James Stratton, Steve Scarborough, Carl Fitz, and Bob Cornwell. All those guys did an amazing job here tonight.
Yeah, a proud guy of everybody, and I believe Troy did not get in with the picture up on the front stretch, but that is okay. I think it's his first week here in the series, but a lot of good racing from the guys, and a lot different from the first week, and so we'll say a good job, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of these guys next week. Where do they go next week, Waylon?
1 second. Actually, we can pull that up here on the stream right here. Next week, they will be at Lakeland or USA, whichever one you want to call it. They will be at Lakeland Speedway next week.
Guys, it's still wide enough for them to run, but also has the same kind of tight turns like Hickory does. So could see some bumping and running, or other stuff that could happen too that could play in the strategies.
Oh, yeah, definitely excited to see how that's going to play out. I'm waiting on some of these guys to move into the broadcast holding room. We're trying to get a hold of a couple of them. Don't see Rick Kelly or Troy Olison, but one guy that we can pull in here is Seth Schultz. We're going to go ahead and pull him in here and interview our race winner. Hey, Seth, it's Waylon. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Waylon.
All righty, man. Congratulations on a big win here tonight, man. You missed last week, but you came here this week and put on a show, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. There we go. I had to turn down the sim chat, but anyways, yeah, it was good. The difference there was Troy didn't take tires and I only took right sides, and we both took enough fuel to finish the race, and that was the difference. Otherwise, Troy would have had me hands down.
Oh yeah, Troy had a good fast car here all night. He was able to get a pretty good gap on everybody, man. But like you said, you were able to capitalize and take those tires and use it to your advantage, man. I mean, it's definitely got to feel good to try out a strategy and it work out in your favor.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, only had a couple of yellows, but yeah, I keep hearing these guys talking to Sim, and I gotta set up a mute button. but no, it was a good race. I was a little too tight in the center, um, and then I was a little too loose on exit. I made a last minute change, which worked out better than what I was, but I was just still a little too tight on the entry or on in the center. I was too tight. If I'd have been a little more free or had a little more rotation, I could have been up there with Troy. But he was hands down the guy to beat tonight.
Oh, it definitely was crazy to see, and it was awesome to see that racing going on, man. Um, I do want to ask, man, how was the track here tonight?
The the front grip went away for me. It was, I don't know, it wasn't too bad. The track was a little greasy, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. I thought we had plenty of grip. Like I said, I just if I didn't have that mid turn push, I would have been a lot better.
Oh yeah. Well, Cameron, is there anything you want to add on to that?
Yeah, Seth, good running tonight. Great win to you. How was you able to figure out that when Troy did not take tires there at the pit stop around near the later half of the race, did you knew that you was good from there on out, or was you worried that everybody else was going to be able to have a contention with it?
Um, I didn't really know what the deal was. I thought he took right sides and didn't take and filled up the car with fuel, so that was a difference. But then I was like, well, then I kind of plateaued off, and I think if we'd have had a longer run, he would have caught me again, even with his old tires. But uh, no, once I kept creeping away, I figured I had it. But uh, other than that, I don't know. It was a fun race. So
Well, good win to you, Seth. Congratulations.
thanks, Cameron. Thanks, Waylon.
Yes, sir. Hey, before we let you go, are there any friends, families, or sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, thank Frank for putting on the league, and um, you know, everybody that's joining. Hopefully, we can get a few more guys come and join. And let's see, we also got guys over at MRL League. It's a younger group too, but they're a good group. And then you got Trick Chassis. Christopher over there is giving me a few pointers, so that's really helped out. Seemed like a good group of guys over there that I've met. And other than that, just some good racing there by Brett McCoy and Troy Olson up front. I wasn't really by a lot of the other guys, but when I was, they gave room, and that's all you can ask for. So other than that, bunch of respectful guys, and we're just out here having fun, and that's about it. So thank you guys for broadcasting as well.
Yes, sir, man. Congratulations on that win here tonight, and we will see you next week, man.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move down the list to Troy Olison. He's not on the track anymore. We're going to try, actually, we're going to try to pull his car up right here. It's Troy Olison. We're going to go ahead and pull him in here and talk with him for just a second. Hey, Troy, Swalen, you got a copy?
Yeah, hey, Troy's here.
Okay, there he is. All right. Hey, man. Well, congratulations on your second place finish, man. You had such a dominant car here tonight, but you came up one spot short, man. How was your race here tonight?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's my first race with these guys, and honestly, one of my first times running a late model race where I had to actually think about pit strategy. Most of the stuff I've been doing is just run the race and go. And so I gambled there at the end, thinking I wonder what everybody else is doing, and so I didn't take any tires. And yeah, Seth, I was talking to him in the pits there, and he took just right side, and obviously that's what I should have done too. But man, that was fun when Brett and I were racing pretty tight there at the beginning, and then yeah, Seth got by me there, and anyway, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, man. Cameron, do you have anything you want to ask him?
Yeah, Troy, congratulations on your second place finish tonight. I understand. What was the strategy looking like for you to start off the race? I understand with the two sets of tires in the pits and also the two faster pairs. Did you have any point of changing that up and just kind of made that choice on the spot?
Yeah, honestly, I just made the decision on the spot. It was so late in the race that yeah, obviously it was the wrong decision. I should have got right side tires. Um, just didn't have the experience with that situation there, and if I would have had a friend in my ear, the guys I race with and whatnot, they would have told me definitely get tires. There's still 30 laps left or whatever. But yeah, shoot, that was fun. Car was fast. And yeah, lots of fun. It's a good group of guys. I appreciate Frank reaching out on the Facebook stuff to get recruiting going here, and I'll definitely try to be back.
Well, congratulations, Troy, and hopefully we'll see you back next week.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Hey, also before we let you go, man, we just wanted to see if there's any friends, families, or sponsor members, any friends, family members, or sponsors you want to thank. Sorry, I got my tongue twisted right there.
Yeah, I don't, no sponsors or anything, but Sam Day Foundation, it's childhood cancer. Everybody should check that out. They're always looking for funding and whatnot to help with that. Build your awareness for ALS. That's a big one. Hits families pretty hard. And yeah, so it's more about causes for me than anything else. So yeah, check out those great organizations and support if you can.
Yes, sir. Anybody is watching, do check out those organizations. I know, I actually know a couple people with ALS, and it is definitely rough on the families. So definitely check that out. And man, congratulations on your second place finish, man. And like Cameron said, hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
No problem. We got one guy left to interview right here. It is Rick Kelly in that 32 car. Cameron, you said you like this car a lot. So we get to talk to him now.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Hey Rick, it's Waylon. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty, man. Well, you brought it home, P3, man. You had a fast car. You were able to keep your head down and just keep it locked in, man. You come home in third, man. How are you feeling?
A little better now that it's over. That's a stressful track for sure, really fast. A lot of fast guys out there tonight. So just had to keep my nose clean, keep the tires underneath me, and let some of those guys go by that were faster than me. And a couple of them fell off after a while, and that's how I ended up in P3. But it was a good race overall.
Oh yeah, definitely was a good race, man. How was the car and how was the track?
Well, the track's fast. The car for me was just a little loose with that setup that I had in it. I wished I had something a little bit better. This is kind of a first for me running open setups. I don't do too much open setup stuff, so it's taken some adjusting. But yeah, I could have had a little bit of a tighter car and maybe been a little bit faster.
Oh yeah, you were definitely fast here tonight, man. But like you're saying, the setup is definitely what was going to matter here tonight, man. Cameron, is there anything you want to ask him?
Yeah, Rick. By the way, I loved your car tonight. I thought it was different from all the other guys on the field. I guess I'll ask you the same question I asked Troy. What was the strategy like? I understand with the two tires and the pits and also the two faster pairs, were you looking to push there throughout the race or just keep your head down and just stay patient throughout the race?
Well, one thing I know about Five Flags, and I've run it enough, that you can't push too hard. Just get a good pace going. Let some guys go by that wanna push, and just let the track come to you, and just be patient. That's all there is. Be patient.
All right. Well, congratulations, Rick, and I'll give it back to Waylon.
Yes, sir, man. You definitely looked fast here tonight, and congratulations on that third place finish here tonight. And before we let you go for the night, are there any friends, family members, or sponsors you want to thank?
I definitely want to thank you guys. I'm new to the league, so I appreciate them letting me in. But all the drivers that come out, that makes the league. That was pretty good numbers tonight. All the admins that put this on, it takes time, and it's nice that that they take the time to do this. And as far as broadcasting goes, that's a plus as well. And I know the broadcasters, they work hard as well. So I want to thank all of them. As far as I don't really have any sponsors. I have an old team, Chaos Motorsports, which you probably saw on my car. I want to thank them. I got some few sponsors on there: Circle City Raceway and Van Dorn Development.
Alrighty, man. Well, like I said, once again, congratulations on your third place finish here tonight. Hopefully, we'll see you back next week at USA Speedway.
Yeah, definitely plan on it. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Have yourself a good night. Alrighty, Cameron. That is our top 3 interviewed right there, man. Definitely a stacked field here tonight. Like you said, a good number of cars here tonight. A lot of them showed up and showed out, honestly. It was definitely good looking here tonight. I was happy to see it. Definitely a lot of good racing, man. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, I felt like tonight it was just more of the patience of drivers, and so that's what you like to see. Now, there's times where you do like to see a little bit of wrecking, where we did see that, make it spicy a little bit. But at the same time, you do want to see some competitive racing between guys that doesn't cause carnage and bring cautions, kind of like what we saw last week a little bit between guys. But tonight was good. Everybody stay patient. It's more of a long run type race with 100 laps, and some of those guys may have expected it, some guys may have not, and was hoping to get bailed out by some cautions. But tonight was good. It was good to see, 3 guys fight for it for the most part, and then some strategy calls that did not go some ways, and then that did go some ways, and so that's what you like to see, especially in late model racing. You don't get to see that a lot around the short track stuff. More of the higher of a truck series and Xfinity series stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. But we're going to go ahead and close this out here for the night. I am Waylon Nelson. I was joined here by my good buddy Cameron Carden. It's always a pleasure to do this broadcast, man. I love doing this. Shout out to Seth Schultz. Shout out to all the guys that were on the track here tonight. Y'all all did an awesome job. Huge shout out to Nelson Roofing and SP Tools for sponsoring the broadcast. They do an amazing job bringing this thing together. And this has been Team 9 Racing TV. Once again, joined by Cameron Carden. He did an awesome job here tonight. Hopefully he'll be back up in the booth next week. And I will catch you guys in the next one.